Yeah, just altogether pointless.
Oh, is it?
Da, 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 da. Listen, I've got to be careful what music I play. So, although this is a Beatles questionnaire, you won't be hearing much Beatles unless it's that shitty, cronky stuff from the Decca years, from the Pete Best era. And I want to tell you something. I see Caitlin on Facebook, so I thought, oh, let's put a picture on one of her posts. So I put one on, and then she blocked me. She blocked me. And you know what? I have to put up with your bullshit every single time I put something up. Every time I upload something, I've got to put up with your bullshit. Every time I read my emails, you're there sending me abuse. And then you block me the minute I send you a nice drawing illustration of Pete Best signing Mr. Mayo's Decca audition album. I bet he'd never seen that album before. Well, he shouldn't have seen it because it hadn't even been released. It's Pete Best, Pete Nobody, Pete Packy. Right, come on then. Where's these questions? Who was your favourite Sutcliffe suits? Pete Stuart. Stuart. Hang on a minute. Peter Sutcliffe, of course. Yeah, he was a sneak, wasn't he? A right sneak. Talk about a man with a double life. Mm. You know what they say about truck drivers, though? Weirdos. They're as weird as postmen. Can you hear the Genesis in the background? I mean, what can you say about that visit? It was diabolical, wasn't it? And I'm going to tell you something about. I don't think you can win if you're in America, because at the high end, you're going to get tricked and screwed as well. Now, let me tell you a little story, a word of warning. Now, you saw the low end that Mr. Mayo went to the other day. You know, I mean, that was the pits, wasn't it? It was the pits. And it ended just like a Ringo concert. It ended with a COVID outbreak or an electrical fault or a murder. You know, they found a way to close that down. So they did all right from the insurance. Everybody come out a winner. And then they made some money out of you cunts on the first night. Cash in hand, in your pocket. Yeah, that's it. That'll pay for the drinks tonight. That'll pay for the cocaine for Rogue. Hey, you fat bastard. He needs to take a lot more coke, though, doesn't he? I mean, fucking hell, you see the size of him. He looks like the Gruffalo. Anyway, listen, John Lennon, happy 82th birthday. Happy tooth. He wouldn't be alive now anyway, would he? Really? Face it, he was half dead when he got shot. Christ, these people keep putting up tributes to him, showing this photo from 1980, trying to be all authentic and everything. And all you're doing is showing what he fucking looked like before he died, which was quite a well kept secret, even in 1980. Anyway, we've had this song so well. Who's getting fed up with me? Yeah, we'll come down on you, Marty McGrath. He'll come down on you because he did this to James Byers before. Him and Tom Hunyati, they started up on James Byers just because he was English. What arseholes, eh? See, this is what we have to deal with, censorship. If this was a Twilight Zone episode, Caitlin would be in a room with walls made out of cardboard, like a big box set, and she can't get out of it ever. and there's no windows and there's no food, and she got nothing to look forward to. That would be the Twilight episode she deserves, I'll tell you. That'll teach you to censor people, madam. Honestly, I sent her the nicest post you can imagine. I did that to a couple of other people as well. I think they blocked me as well straight away because it kept saying this page isn't available when I went back to check on messages and stuff. Yeah. Oh, you're going to Florida? That'd be nice for you. Yeah, but make sure you avoid those hurricanes because that didn't look too nice, did it? All right, all right, all right. We'll put this on, but it's only because I'm a bit short. I've only got about 10 tracks left to play now. Without getting more technical, and I'm trying to dissipate myself, if that's the right word to use. I'm trying to disassociate myself from modern technology now because I've decided that I'm entering into a spiritual phase of my life where I don't need Caitlin Larkin hanging about anymore, where I don't have to look at you, look, you cunts opening box sets up. Do you know, I've got to go through it again. Revolver is just an old album, right? It's an old fucking album. It's not that good. It's not even good, in my opinion, my humble opinion, Governor. But we've got to go through it all again. It's not just going to be one person opening that fucking shit up, is it? It's going to be everybody doing it. From TJR, Robert Kinsler, to Arthur C. Clarke, to fucking all the usual suspects. And I don't think I can deal with it. I've been dealing with it for 4 years now, 5 years. Since Pepper, there's been non-stop fucking archives, non-stop box set this, box set that. Oh, it's wearing me out. I need spiritual guidance, and I think I might have found some. And it's certainly not coming from this part of the internet, I'll tell you that much. No, there are answers out there, and I've decided to go looking for some of them. And this is not satisfying to see the gluttony of these vinyl nerds. It's horrible. You're all damned. You're all damned, really you are. Oh, John Heaton. Is that the real John Heaton there? Well, it's got a picture of Bulgaria, so I suppose it could be. Have you got a question to ask me, your lordship? I might have a couple to ask you. It's always good to ask posh people questions. We're not worthy, really. Oh, I'm just trying. I'm not trying not to choke to death. Well, seeing as his lordship's here, if we can find a Fleetwood Mac track, we'll be laughing, won't we? Oh, he'll have to deal with Beat It. Anyway, I don't want to start picking on you, Lord Heaton, but I remember you didn't have nice words to say about the Thriller album. You was pretty nasty about it, and I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong. You're forgetting what a giant, what a giant Michael Jackson was in his day. And have you ever seen Paul McCartney moonwalk? No. And I was thinking, when people get good value for money out of their gig, it's all different, isn't it? It's all the difference. I'm not asking for people to balance balance bananas on their nose, but I would expect a little bit of performance. You know what I mean? I don't want to see some old hag trying to sing with Paul McCartney. That was horrible, wasn't it? Did you see the desperation? Anyway, what's he saying? Oh, well, I mean, bad. You see, you're doing a Revolver in reverse here. You're just saying, oh, I've had enough of Thriller, so I'm going to go for bad. We could all do that. We could all do that. I could do it for his later album. Can't remember the name of it now. I've got rid of all my stuff. I've just all I've got nowadays is greatest hits because it's all I need. Because if you got me on Desert Island Discs, you would get the most honest answers you've ever heard in your life. You wouldn't get all this, yes, well, I've always been a big fan of Chopin's Moonlight. No. It's because it's bullshit, isn't it? Never listen to that. Never listen to it. I'm not listening to cronky old music from the past. No, I don't want to listen. If it sounds like it was dug up with the ark. No, you can keep it. Do you know any of you lot out there know a Facebook group called the Serial Squadron? It's quite heavy going, right? And there's this bloke, Eric Stedman, and he's repairing all the old serials, Flash Gordon and Nyoka and the Tiger Men and all that. I'm always arguing with him. Anyway, he found one from about 1913, The Perils of Penelope or something like that. The sort of thing where it's silent and they've got a woman who's tied up on the fucking railway track. That kind of old tricks. Anyway, he's repaired that series, but what he wanted some woman like Betty Boop to do the singing, like that, right? And I got in touch with him. I said, listen, mate, I said, women didn't used to sing like that. In 1913, they used to do warbly stuff. They used to go, whoa, whoa. That was the style of singing for the ladies back in them days. I'm sorry, it's not Betty Boop, but I insist on historical accuracy. I do. I mean, I don't want a pair of Stuart wheels when there's a Tudor drama going on. Anyway, listen, who played the keyboards with Klaus Vorderman? I was thinking about Bobby Whitlock today, and I shouldn't have been. But it's one of the reasons I'm coming up here, because now he's trying to. Now I hate it when rockers try and make it they're also artists, because they're not. I mean, it's like a child's got loose with your crayons, usually, isn't it? The result. But you see, you people are blinded, and you need to take those spectacles off and say, actually, why have I come to this gallery to see these horrible squiggles or this horrible child fair? It's pathetic, and it's an insult to people's intelligence. That's what I was saying about this Pete Best signing. It's an insult to people's intelligence. What have we had so far? We've had two cancelled gigs, two cancelled tours from Ringo, COVID, right? We've had two cancelled Beatle fests. We've had a Pete Best fest that's been cancelled. And do you know what's worse, right? This is why you can't win in America at the moment, because I said about the low end of the market, which was what Mr. Mayo's been indulging in, going to see Billy J. Kramer and Pete Best. Well, guess who went for the high end market? I'm not going to say TJ. It was Music Fan, and she doing anything to please that man. And she must have said, "Oh yeah, I've got a season ticket for Disney. Brilliant. We've got a Comic Con thing coming up." But I mean, this wasn't like two people and a blooming cripple there. This was like big deal. This was Disneyland. Get in there, go to your Comic Con, see all the superheroes. Anyway, what they didn't say, because she gets there and he's biting at the bit to go and see DC Comics and Batman, and he's also biting at the bit to see Star Wars. Guess what? Access all areas except DC Comics and Batman plus Star Wars. So he's walking around fuming. And that poor woman, she was heartbroken, because you just imagine TJR moaning about it, saying, "Well, it seems we can't get in to see the Star Wars. Oh, well, some ticket you've got there. And, you've got to pay real extra money for this." John Heaton, I mean, you'd hate it, wouldn't you, Lord Heat? You would hate it going to America and getting, well, you're not going to go into the Yellow Submarine unless you pay us extra money. You're just going to look in the aquarium for the time being. No, I was promised an experience. I don't want to be charged extra money just because you can only get the richest, rich people to go and see it. It's not fair. It's being exclusive. Do you know what I mean? No working class man like myself could go and get into that and watch it and see DC Comics, let alone fucking TJR with his status in California. Man, if he can't get in to see Obi-Wan Kenobi's suit, then what chance have I got? Anyway, let's see what's this. What is this? What is this? Yeah, but remember that Ringo the Fourth was produced. It's like saying I prefer wildlife to any of that shit Paul McCartney's done in the last 20 years. Because we're dealing with a younger person. I mean, Ringo's fucking 80, isn't he? He's the same age as my mum virtually. And, you know, I wouldn't expect my mum to sing crap like that because everyone would be laughing at her. I mean, I don't know how he keeps getting away with it. It's because there's so many gullible Americans out there. Oh, anyway, let's see what the people have said because I was here to answer questions, wasn't I? Didn't you think it was God's will that Mayo's burger was like tossed over the floor a little bit the other day? It was as if Neil Young had set him up. And I felt sorry for Neil Young, so I took that video down because I thought, no, I was really cruel to him and I shouldn't have been. But then I watched some of Neil Young's stuff and I thought to myself, no, he's a horrible, cocky bastard. He's the sort of bloke who gets involved with you and you think, oh, can I get you a drink? You know, oh, I'm a big fan of yours. And then you think, well, yeah, go on then. And then you think, well, I'll have me drink and then you tell him to fuck off. And then you buy him a drink. And next day he turns up again and he said, oh, isn't it your turn to buy me a drink? So it adds insult to injury. So I figured he was like that. So I'm not feeling too sorry for him. And the fact that he's got no mates is his own fault, really. He should. Do you know what? If he did himself up a little bit, he could look like Beau Bridges, maybe. Anyway, let's get something else. So let's get another track on. Maybe we get Fleetwood Mac on. Oh, we like this one. We like reggae, don't we, John Heaton? We like reggae. When we go to the West Indies, we like a bit of reggae. You won't be going to Barbados anymore, mate. I tell you, they've thrown out the English. Fucking, it's a banana republic now, just like Britain. Still, at least, do you know what? They've got the coconut cabinet. They've picked all black people and they've totally fucked it up within about a week. In fact, it was about 2 days and they completely fucked it all up. This is what, I'll tell you what, the world's 5th greatest economy on its knees now because they started box ticking and taking on a black man. Never trust a black man with your economics. I'm sorry, but you know what I mean? You can't trust them. You can't trust them with cash. Anyway. If you just excuse me for a minute, think of a good question and I might be able to answer it for you because I'm full of knowledge. I was watching Kenny Michaels and Talk More Talks tribute to John Lennon the other day and it was crap. It was rubbish. All they was doing was talking about themselves again for about an hour and then they started all talking about themselves individually and then they started talking about what tracks they like, which was every single fucking track going. So, you know, I thought, what did I learn from that? Nothing. If you put anything up about John Heaton, put anything up about John Lennon at the moment, I'm not watching it anymore because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. There's nothing new to say. Nobody's celebrating his birthday this year because they want to keep it hush hush because of the woman is the end of the world. We know. The lawyers have got involved. Do not even mention John's name for about a year, all right? Because what could trigger it all off now is somebody in Rolling Stone or somewhere like that. And I know Rolling Stone don't ever want to upset the Lennons. But one of those magazines saying, why were we cheated out of New York City? perhaps it's because of this. And then some black people might say, what's this about? John Lennon? He's a racist. I've never listened to his music, but now I'm listening to it. I hate the man. I hate what he's saying about my people. Set my people free. Buffalo Soldier. I will set Rachel's people free first. I'm coming up like Zorro to rescue you, Susie. I will not have this horrible relationship you're in. I won't have you suffering like that. Do you know what you remind me of? The life and loves of a she-devil. Why? Oh, I thought, because my dyslexia just read Richard Dole in his Burger King. You see, sometimes I'm sorry about that, but because I'm just a poor oik, I don't know any better. Please treat me fairly, Mr. Magistrate. Don't send me to Australia. Right, now I've got to find a roach and I'll be right with you. And we get some more music on. Maybe we'll get some more Michael Jackson on. It might even get Richie Dolan out of his hiding place. Why? Well, I think we found out one thing, and if you're listening, pub landlord or John Heaton, take this in mind, because these people, they're always saying, oh, do you know, all the kids these days, they love the Beatles. Yeah, they can't get enough of it. This isn't true. But if the kids ain't listening to the Beatles, I'm telling you, they're not. And they don't like the Beatles being forced on them either. So take that on board, you selfish fuckers, you narcissists. Martin McGrath, are you a narcissist? Hang on. I'll get rid of this one because here we are. We're build me up Buttercup again. Do. So, what was that question you was all asking me? What was I watching this week? Well, I'll tell you what I was watching today. I watched. What was it I watched? My memory's not that good because we was out this morning, and my wife, she likes that cappuccino and a sachet. She loves it. So we had to go and get her some cappuccino and a sachet. She also had to stop off at the Jewish store, Ezra's, because then she can get all her, Jewish goods. Because it's not to be touched by Christian hands, you know what I mean? So I'd just be happy if it wasn't touched by Mexican hands like Mayo's Burger. Oh, I mean, he has got claim there. We've taken photos for him. We've taken photos to prove that was a poisonous burger. Did Neil Young set it all up though? What he doesn't know was I was actually working in the kitchen that night, and I made sure that I pooped all over it. Oh, here he is, pub landlord. He wasn't responsible with Richard Griffiths and Lord Heaton of that foul murder, that disgusting sexual rapey case that was happening in Adelphi. You get all kind of. Do you know they say that the Adelphi's the most haunted mansion in Liverpool? It actually used to be a classy venue once. It did. Oh, it's been going downhill ever since. Now it's full of Afghans. You remember on The Man Who Would Be King? 1, 2, 3. I thought you see, I'm reading this with my dyslexic eyes again. Ray is racist. I thought it said. Racist. Can you see that? Anybody out there? Can you see that? You've got to be left-brained. Left-brained. Right brain, sorry, right brain, because I'm left-handed, right brain. That's it. Buttercup, don't break my heart. Oh, yeah. What I was supposed to do today, this is really boring. Oh, this is a modern one. We're very short of tracks, so if you don't like it, tough titties. Tough titties. You ever heard that expression, tough tits, before? My wife, she never heard that expression before. She thinks it's brilliant. Tough titties. Tough tits. Oh, here we are. We're having all the superstars turning up tonight. An audience with Invisible Ray. Yes, you can ask me questions and I will give you wise counsel. Or is it counsel? Counsel. The honorary consul. Oh, they was talking about the honorary consul the other day, and half of them didn't even fucking know what it was. So much for experts. Hey? Excuse me while I spark this up. I've also located a beer behind me. Very nice. It's one of those kraut beers, you know, those crafty ones that what Andrew Dixon drinks. But it's coming up the weekend, so I can indulge myself with craft beers if I like. But they usually make me very sick because with craft beers, it's like getting a remastered box set from the Beatles. Um, they just make it stronger, you know. They turn the music up on the box set, you know. It's just they just make it louder. And with the craft beers, all they do is make it extra strong and hide it under a strange flavour. So I'm not the biggest fan in the world, but I can understand why Andrew Dixon gets a bit leery on it. Gets his guitar out, doesn't he? He's going ding 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 ding. Do you know what? And Andrew Dixon is the best musician in the Beatles. Did you know that? Mm. Do you know, if he was a fan of Hank Marvin, you'd be hearing some beautiful songs from the man right now. Beautiful music. In fact, should we try and find some shadows? Because we got nothing in this town. We got nothing but respect for the shadows. I can assure you of that much. Well, I'll tell you what, John Lord Heaton will love this one. We all love it. We all love it. Do you remember that night we was all watching Channel 4, The Word, because we was going to see David Bowie doing it with the little China girl on the beach. It was heavily advertised, so we all watched it. You know, it was worth a wank back in the day. It's not now. Can you hear it all right? Yes, Brian. Brian. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, because it said Oktoberfest where the cans were, or the bottles were. And I thought, oh, Oktoberfest, uh, blonde beer with a raspberry tinge. Yeah, I'll have that. I'll try it out. Yeah, it looked nice. Well, it looked like SS drink. You know, it had that sort of Nazi writing. You know, like it was pretty sinister. But I thought, well, you never know. I mean, even the Nazis made a nice beer, didn't they? Or so I was told. But then I was also told that Hitler was the Beatles' biggest fan, even though he didn't like Let It Be. But who would? Who does? I mean, you can't blame him for his lack of taste. Well, Cliff has got a wig. Did you know? Have you seen Cliff's wig? He's as bald as a coot. And do you know what? Did you hear about? If you didn't hate Cliff Richards already for being a highly suspicious character, right? Well, guess what else he's been up to? Do you remember when he was making out that he was having sexual relations with Sue Barker? Now, not only has that woman been sacked from a question of sport after thousands of years of service, and yeah, she looks like the back end of a bus. But do you know what? Cliff Richard used her. Just like when Elton John married Renee or Renata, whatever her fucking name was, it's a big cover up like Phil Schofield. So Philip Schofield is a disgrace to humanity. He's been grooming boys from the eight. He's been grooming 13-year-old boys, and that he was going to blow his cover, but Schofield's people acted quick and paid the young scoundrel off. It's disgusting, Balding Boomer. I'm sorry, a religious man like you's turned up to hear this scandal, but I'm sorry. You know, you can go over to Talk More Talk. All you're going to hear is Mr. Licky Bum Bum of John Lennon. We cannot upset John Lennon because we might get a free box set. Well, here's what John Lennon says. Fuck you lot, you're not getting nothing. Where's hello, Mr. Mayo? Where is he? There's John Heaton. Who, me? I've never heard of him. You might as well tell me who's Joey Malloy. I've never heard of him. It's a good thing this song goes on for a bit, isn't it? Oh, and have you checked out these people? What are they? Fab Four Free for All. Check out their channel, and also check out Mr. Broadstreet's channel, because he's, like I said, I thought to myself, poor bastard, being screwed by them two parasites at the Pete Best thing. Well, we've had that, but when I watched his channel, I realised that he was just as annoying as them two. That's why I got no mates, because he's one of those cocky bastards. We knew this bloke. We called him the ref, and he used to always manage to pull the girls because he'd talk them to death. Plus, he had a good job, and he was a referee in his spare time, so we called him the ref. And he used to come up to us all the time. He's still cocky and say, "Oh yeah, well, you know, I can pull any girl in the whole world." And we talk to him and everything, humour him. And then one day I was up at a nightclub, at the end of the pier, and he turns up. We go, "Oh, can I buy it?" Hello, hello, and I'm with a couple of girls and that, and a couple of mates, and he comes along like he knows us, and he says, "Hey, yeah, can I get you all a drink?" So we're thinking, yeah, get us a drink then, and then we thought we'll have the drink, and we wandered off, and then half hour later he was back there saying, "Who's going to buy me a drink then now?" Oh, fucking hell! Do you know, he not only is he irritated us, but he thinks he's got the right to ask us for drinks now. Oh no, it's, you get these people. You just, and another. I don't want to tell you about the time I made myself a cup of tea and the bloke picked it up and started drinking it, and I just had a premonition that this bloke was going to do it. I made myself a nice cup of tea in the canteen, and I put it down for 2 seconds, and this idiot comes walking in behind me, and I thought, look, I'm only just going to go across the room and get some sugar, and then I turned around, the bloke's drinking my tea. It's a sixth sense. Oh, we're not here to talk about double fantasy. Balls to double fantasy. In fact, I think it's about time we did an album about how shit double fantasy is. And we've just had this. We've got to have another one. Let's see if we've got any Heaton-esque tracks here. I would put Desperado on, but I'll get blocked for the old. Eagles. Oh, let's go for a bit of Robert Palmer, eh? Did you know Robert Palmer was based in the Bahamas? John Heaton. See, I'm full of useful information. And do you know why he left? Because he said the place was run by neat. It does tend to send the white man away quite quickly. Anyway, let's turn this up because it's so good. Yeah, John Heaton. Do you remember Barrymore? Every kind of people, my kind of music. Do you know I was going to go on that show? I was going to go on that show, but do you know I thought that the woman I was going to go on with was going to let me down badly. You know, she was going to freeze when they had to do that bit where you run from, you say a group and then you got to say the song. And I think she would have fucked up. So, you know, and maybe I would have fucked up. Maybe I would have got stagey nerves. No, nervous. Whoa. Oh yeah. Oh well, that was a short stay. Well, if we don't get blocked, you'll be able to watch it later, Your Lordship. So, ta-ta, and what ho, what ho. Whoa! Yeah, it is the guy from Pub Landlord. Woo! Have we? What's this? Cryptic? Cryptic? Did oh hang on? What's this compass point? Is he still talking about this bloody band again? Oh yeah, no, no, no. He's answering my question. Oh, I can. Yes, I can. Um, wasn't wasn't Bob Marley's albums done at them studios? And we know Robert Palmer was based there. Hang on a minute. Let me think. Let me think. Let me think now. Let me think. Oof. Well, I've got the island story. Well, at the moment, I'm at a loss. Go on, tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. It wouldn't surprise me if Fleetwood Mac's Tango in the Night was done there. Da, 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 da. Okay, well, look, we're going to put a bit of Fernando. Found a bit of ABBA for you. Would you believe it? Well, I thought I had about 10 tracks on here, but they're breeding. The trouble is, they're breeding into shit tracks. You know, like for every for every Cat Stevens song I delete, I'll get something like 3 Bucks Fizz records turn up or a Ringo song. You know, there's strange things at work at the moment. One day I'll tell you. One day I can't tell you on this channel though because YouTube are going to block me, and this also involves Alex Elfield. I can't say any more than that. Yeah, they've imprisoned a man wrongly, and they've made up all the evidence about him. Anyway, shh, can't say any more about that. He is he is the Julian Assange of Nottingham. Well, listen, if I play too much of this song, I might get blocked, so we don't want that. So shush, shush, wait there. Let's see if we can get a Beatle type track on here, because you know the Beatles. The Beatles is very copyrighted. Or would you like some more Bob Marley? Yes, stand up for your rights. Yeah, I'm a member of the Alex Belfield cult. It's getting very distressing out there about him as well. Because you know, although his popularity is coming back again, and people are asking questions about why he's been put in prison. Well, there's still a lot of haters out there, and they're really trying to torment him at the moment, and it's wrong because he can't defend himself in prison. He should be allowed to broadcast from prison though, because he's a very good presenter. And what have you done to him? You've turned it to this. Do you know what it reminds me of? Trading places with Dan Aykroyd when they swapped with Eddie Murphy for a dollar bet. That's what they did to it's Belfield. Mm. You know why? Because she's boring, and she. Oh, hang on. You know why? Because she's boring, and I'll tell you what else. She also encourages perverts over her channel. The likes, the likes of you know who and you know who and you know who, and AEGEK. Pop goes to 60s. Oh yeah, it's vicious. Was it you that sent me that thing? Because I watched that Martin McGrath because you sent me a link, didn't you? And I see it, and he's vicious about him. But what I thought was lacking was he should have just said at the end, neither drummer was any good, which is why they got Alan White involved. Andy White, whatever his fucking name is. Tommy White. Did you think that Andrew Dixon's video about the three drummers on the Beatles was a bit obvious? A bit obvious to a Beatles fan. Maybe he's going for the mass market. You know, because you keep getting these things come up and they say, the day John said enough is enough. And you think, oh, that looks interesting. And it's a story you've heard about 1,000 years ago. Yeah, he did the other day with Neil Young, didn't he? Because Neil, he's saying at the table, I didn't notice this on first watching, but I noticed it on repeat watching, that Neil Young says, let's all go to lunch, I believe. And then they get in the restaurant. And then Mr. Mayo keeps saying, oh, where's my mate Anthony? My mate Anthony always pays for us. Oh, he pays for everything. So Neil Young's sitting there thinking, well, it looks like I've got to pay for these cheap bastards. Yeah, oh, is he scrounging? Of course he's scrounging. Hey, there's a bear poop in the woods. Yeah. That was all they're doing, talking about chow. Anyway, listen, I'm going to go because I'm going to get some tea, and I might answer some more questions later because I need to sort myself out, get up, stand up, So, goodbye. Ta-ta. 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 Bye.